Level-headed guy.
Level-headed.
That's what you want. If you want to be an inspector, you got to be level-headed. Oh, my sweet pink bat insulation. Oh, how I have missed you. It's time to free you from this shitty window that you've been stuck inside. You have no purpose being in there. Please, fly free. They're just garbage at this point. They're not effective and they look like shit, to be honest. So you get a little motivation for these guys. The homeowner will never know that that glass is cracked. It's perfect. Look at that. Like, I really love these, the quality here. It's just unreal. This is the best part of the job. Good morning. It's your favorite home inspector, Ian Lozon here, owner of Timber Pointe Home Inspection. Today we're in the community of Hawkwood in Calgary, Alberta. A little snowy today. It's a perfect day to install windows. I know what you're thinking. How can we install windows when there's snow on the ground? And let me tell you, it can be done and it can be done well. Come with me and I'll show you how. Okay, so just taking a first glance at our windows here, looks like we have double pane wood windows with aluminum cladding on the outside. You can see by the joints that have been caulked together. There's some sealant that's been around, that goes around the windows. This isn't how the new vinyl windows are going to be installed today. It's going to be 100% PVC all the way through. There's going to be no wood components whatsoever. It's going to be a lot more energy efficient, and it's going to really improve the efficiency of this house in terms of the thermal capabilities. So we're going to get these older wood windows out. We'll have a look at the insides. We'll look to see if we see any windows that have some compromised seals, some window fogging going on. So we're going to take a look inside. We'll walk around and see what else we're looking at. This is just a standard fixed frame window, and then there's also a second component with an arch effect. So we'll see what Ecoline has in store for this opening. I'm interested to see what's going to be going on here. Should be possibly a one-piece construction, which I really prefer. It's a lot easier to install. It's easier to install it more precisely, and looks really sharp. So we'll see what this window looks like, and we'll head inside and take a look at the other ones. Okay, we can see the guys here are digging away. Looks like they got a brand new shovel, and the ground is still soft enough that we're able to dig fairly easily. We're opening up a larger opening here. We're going to be cutting down into the foundation, creating a larger opening for a new window, most likely for basement bedroom egress purposes. So these guys are going to start digging away here. This is going to take a few hours. They got smiles on their faces right now, but I'm sure after a couple hours of digging, they're going to be a little bit more displeased with this situation. I'd love to help out like I always do. I'm always available to pitch in, but clock is ticking, so I'll probably be gone by the time they get tired. So that's too bad, but I'm sure they can handle it. And I'm excited to see what the new window gets in when they start cutting. So I'm assuming this house was built in the early 1990s or something like that. With these wood windows, with this aluminum cladding on it, it was an upgraded feature at the time. It created more of a maintenance-free finish. Some of the older wood windows we've seen in the past, it's actually wood on the outside. The brick mold goes all the way around. A lot more maintenance that's needed over time. A lot more painting, sanding, and refreshing of the outside. With this type of situation, there's no need for that. The only downside is you still have older windows. They're still going to be very energy efficient. And you can see from the inside, you can see still condensation, even though it is warmer today. You can see lots of water damage along the bottoms of the windows. We'll see that more of that inside. So there is some downsides to it. Obviously, there's a reason why we're here today. So with the new vinyl triple pane windows that Ecoline has, you're going to eliminate a lot of those condensation problems and any sort of moisture related issues inside the house. So these windows were meant to kind of last this 30, 40 years or something like that. So they're just out of date, and given the today's energy prices and demands that we're seeing, it makes a lot more sense to upgrade your windows now. So this situation does work. It's a maintenance free finish, but there is some downsides. Looking at the inside of this fixed window in the living room here, see lots of water damage. It's quite soft in some of these areas. It's a little bit of wood deterioration going on. So as we get cold, on the colder days, we get a lot more condensation, we get a lot more frost buildup. When that frost does melt, on the warmer days, obviously it's gonna end up on this wood sill here, and that's going to cause that water damage. One of the primary reasons people are replacing their windows is they're not happy looking at this kind of black rot and decay, and it's just not energy efficient. That's a clear example why. So there's a reason why these windows are coming out today, and that's probably the primary one. Okay, I'm here with Bosser. He's the homeowner of the house today, and we're just going to ask him a few questions related to the windows. First off, how long have you lived in the house?
We've been here for about 8 months.
8 months. Okay, so kind of just moved in.
Yep.
Probably one of the things that came up during the house inspection was the window quality.
Yeah.
And the fact that there's quite a bit of deterioration and they're not going to be very energy efficient.
Yep.
Okay, so what led you to going with Ecoline?
We did our market research, and the house that we were living in before, they had the windows changed with Ecoline as well.
Okay.
And then in the market research, when we looked at with Costco and everyone, all the recommendations were good for Ecoline. And after I did like 2 or 3 estimates, the estimates were all mostly the same.
Yeah.
The amount of changes or the customers that you guys have were far more as compared to any other vendor.
Yeah.
So it was an easy choice.
Yeah, that's pretty much the common thing that gets said when we talk to the homeowners about why they're choosing Ecoline. Yeah. And you're in luck. The window quality is really good.
Yes.
We've seen a lot of these window installations, and everything does go really smoothly.
Yeah.
And the windows are going to be a lot more energy efficient.
Exactly.
I've been in a lot of these early 90s, late 80s houses, and one of the real downsides to them is the window quality.
Yes.
And you got a lot of windows. So replacing the more windows you replace, the more energy efficiency you're going to get.
No, and that was the result of our greener home survey as well.
Yeah.
So then when they did the survey, the first thing that they pointed out was to change the windows and the doors.
Yeah.
So
simple enough.
Simple enough.
Yeah. Well, it sounds like you got your head on your shoulders. We're going to keep going along here. We're going to start pulling some windows out.
Yep.
And having a look at what's going on. If we find anything interesting, I'll let you know.
Yep. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Thanks.
Okay, we're here in the bathroom, primary bedroom of the house. You can see that we got a window here, lots of condensation on it. It's a humid place of the house. We got the shower going. We got a tub here. You're going to get a lot of humidity that's going to go right to the cold areas of the house. This window here, given that it's so inefficient, you can see that water is starting to peel off. You can see that there's quite a bit of rot in here just along the window itself. It's fairly decayed, and you can see all of the water damage along the bottom here of this inside frame. These windows aren't going to be very easy to open, even when they are operational, because as the wood expands and contracts, it's going to start to warp. And then it makes the casement effect really hard to open and close. So a lot of people just leave them closed because they're not even functional. So that's one of the primary reasons why we're taking these ones out. They're just garbage at this point. They're not effective, and they look like shit, to be honest. So. Some more water damage in this window here. This is kind of going to be the theme with this house. Lots of interior related condensation causing the water damage to the wood frames, and that's what you get. If you want to have old crappy windows, you're gonna get the guy cutting them out. Get that loud buzzing sound in my ear that I get every time I'm out here. I love that sound because it means something fresh is coming in. A lot harder than it looks taking out these wood frame windows. They make it look so simple, the way that they just cut through the frame, cut in the right place to take it out. A homeowner could spend a day just trying to take one window out. These guys can do it in 5 minutes. There's a reason why they're here. The reason why that people don't, put windows in themselves. They shouldn't be putting windows in themselves, especially on the second story. The guy's on a ladder right now, so you got to be very careful what's going on. We've got lots of crews going today. We're working in multiple areas of the house. It's warm enough that it's not too uncomfortable to have, working in different areas of the house today. If it was colder last week in Calgary, it was minus 15, minus 20 degrees. We'd only be doing one window at a time. Take about 20 minutes or so to get the old window out, put a new window in. That way we're keeping the house temperature a little bit more comfortable. The people are here today. They're still in the house. They got their kids, so we don't want it to be freezing in here. Ecoline's able to facilitate that, no problem. But today's a little bit warmer, so we can work on multiple areas and get this project done in a day. Oh, my sweet pink bat insulation. Oh, how I have missed you. It's time to free you from this shitty window that you've been stuck inside. You have no purpose being in there. Please, fly free. I'm gonna give you guys my pro inspector tip of the day. Okay, you're only gonna hear this from guys like me. This is not a scarf, okay? You cannot wear this as a scarf. I know it's winter time. This will make your neck very, very itchy. It's not a good idea. So leave this stuff in the garbage where it belongs. Please, please take my advice. You can see a lot of the water damage. You can actually see we got some active water just sitting here as we pull the pane of glass out. As all that condensation and the frost melts off, it gets trapped underneath the window and it just sits there, which is why you get this black staining. This is somewhat related to the mold, and it's not good. It's in every single window in this house. It's really an unhealthy thing to see it like this. It's eventually going to be a problem once the mold starts to spread further, and it'll be a nightmare for these homeowners. So you're going to get the Ecoline triple pane, 100% vinyl. There's going to be no issues. Even if there is a little bit of condensation, even on the really coldest days, you might get a little bit of condensation. You can just wipe it off with a paper towel. It's going to just sit on the vinyl. There's no wood for it to get into and damage. That's what you want when you're doing an expensive project like this, and that's perfect. We're looking at one of the windows in the bathroom here. This is a casement window, and you can see it opens and closes no problem. But when I do fully close it, I'm able to still push the window. It's not sitting nice and tight. So air is going to be easily escaping in there. You're going to get a lot of cold air inside the window, inside the room. Makes it very uncomfortable. This leads to that condensation issue that's causing all the water damage in all the windows. So when you get a new vinyl window, especially the ones that Ecoline have, once that window is locked shut, you cannot move it. It's sitting perfectly tight against the weather stripping. There's no air loss, nothing like that. So when you got this kind of situation going on, obviously air is able to escape fairly easily, and it makes it very inefficient. So every window that Ecoline makes is custom, but this is truly a custom window with this arch effect. You can see it's all one-piece construction, really easy to manage, to work with. It's going to be way more energy efficient because there's no gaps in the middle that you have to deal with. You're not putting two windows together. Chances of the air infiltration are a lot more enhanced when you have that kind of situation. So this is a really solid arch window. I love these arch windows that Ecoline makes. They really do look sharp, really change the look of the house. We're going to head upstairs and watch you guys put it in. All right, I want to get this window secured as soon as possible. We got our guy on the outside hanging on for dear life. He knows what he's doing, but I'm always concerned about these guys. I try to look after them, so I'm gonna make sure it's installed nice and quick so that we can get him off the ladder. Okay, you can see our installers here are fastening the window into place. We got our shims down at the bottom. With our windows, we only shim at the bottom. Doors, we'll be able to shim on the side as well to add that more strength. We kind of got to play around with these arch windows to make sure that everything lines up nice. You can see we got a good gap here. We'll be able to get our spray foam insulation in place. We're not dealing anymore with that bat stuff. Sick of the bats. I love the fact that we're here, but I hate this bat insulation. It's driving me nuts. So we're gonna get our spray foam into place. We got our good gaps. We'll be able to get it all the way around. And we're just waiting to level it up and make sure it's plumb, and we're good to go. If I do one thing right today, it's always checking to make sure these windows are nice and level and plumb. This is right on the money here. Looks perfect. No issues at all. Got our man on the outside finishing up the caulking around the outside of the window. Another good install. Looks really good. You can just feel that this room now is transformed with this new window in place. We're gonna put our casings in after this, and then we got a brand new room, and it looks great. Things are going really smoothly with this project today. If you got wood windows, the installers are always going to be happy. They're a lot easier to remove. It's going to make them a lot more just happy to be at the house. And you know, we're going to do a little autopsy here of one of the older windows. It's a good thing to do this. We don't get a chance to do this that often. You can see how it's made up of multiple parts. We'll get a close up in a second, but it's just when you have all these different components that are, you know, joined together through grooves and notches, it just allows more moisture to get trapped. With a vinyl window, with an Ecoline window, there's not as many gaps. It's all one piece uniform construction. The weld points are all, you know, covered in sealant. There's no opportunity for water to even get into the window. And if it does, there's drain holes that allow the water to drain out. With a wood window, there's no drainage at all. So you can see where that water is getting trapped and it's causing all this, you know, black decay, which is essentially mold. It's starting to rot away. And this is one of the primary reasons where you see that development with the older windows, and over time, the frost buildup and the melting causing the water damage and condensation. So everything is all related. And when you put in a triple pane vinyl window, you eliminate a lot of those problems. So that's kind of the breakdown with this kind of situation. This kid up here, I mean, he never surprises me. He's just fearless. He's up on the edge of the roof. He's got one arm on the wall. He's cleaning off the window. He's going over and you know, above and beyond for these clients, making sure that window is absolutely spotless. He's risking life and limb for this window. You know, there's a ladder right beside him. He could be standing on the ladder nice and safe. He's up hanging off the roof. I love it. It's perfect. Got another window just installed here in the bathroom. This is a single hung window. And you know, a lot of the times with these hung windows, you got a reef on it to get it open. Look at this, one finger, open and close. Unreal. So smooth, just effortless. You can see when it's sitting in place, you're not able to move that sash. It's a perfect tight fit. And it's just, I love this stuff. You can clean these single hung windows. You can just pull the sash right out. Up, pull this out, look at that. You can clean all the dust and debris over time. Just wipe it with a rag, put it back into place, goes right back down, lock it, you're good to go. These just the nicest windows I've ever seen. Like, I really love these, the quality here. It's just unreal. The homeowner will never know that glass is cracked. It's perfect. Look at that. Excellent workmanship on the tape. I don't say it often, but if there's two guys taking it out, that's a big fucking pane of glass. Okay, so we're gonna wrap things up here today. Seen a lot of windows go in, a lot of shitty ones come out. I'm pleased with what I'm seeing here today. We're just getting ready to finish off this living room window, the big daddy of them all. And we're gonna get cutting in the foundation on the outside. We won't be around for that today, but it's all good. We'll see it on the next time. And I'm Ian from, where am I from? Timber Pointe Home Inspection. I'm here with Ecoline windows today. Love what these guys are doing. Even when the snow's down, these guys are happy. Everything's going in smoothly. There's nothing I can say bad about these guys today. I'll think of something next time, but today, nothing else. It's a good job.